Hey guys, Benny the Vulture, formerly known as Jace Boyer here, and I think you might be wondering about a little, so I hope you all know about my theory about that explains the absence of Duck, Terrence, and Trevor in the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad, as I have known all about your theory of the absence of Edward in the movie. And now I bet you guys might be wondering about a theory a little theory that could explain the absence of Donald and Douglas in the movie. So, well, to me, in the movie, Donald and Douglas are at the works being mended, and I think Sir Topham Hatt sends them to the works to be mended before the story that explains Duck, Terrence, and Trevor's absence, and 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 Edward's absence. So I think maybe. So I sure hope Kiefer Adams has got my message of my inspiration for him to make a story about that takes place before the story The Lady in the Dream, and I bet and I hope Aaron Williams is finally working on that Duck short. And also in the Duck short, Duck will be taking Terrence, Trevor, Farmer Finney, and the Vicar of Wellsworth with him to the mainland. So Duck will not only be going to the mainland to do some visiting work on the mainland, but he will also be taking Farmer Finney and the Vicar of Wellsworth to their holidays. And Farmer Finney will be taking Terrence with him, and the Vicar of Wellsworth will be taking Trevor with him. So Duck will kind of have a big train in the short. And also now and I bet Kiefer Adams could also make. Now I think maybe Donald and Douglas should both also be added to the story. To the story that takes place during the story A Pinch of 10, and that would because so not only would Duck be in A Pinch of 10, but also Donald and Douglas would both also be. So Duck would not be. So Duck would. So in the story that takes place during the story A Pinch of 10, Duck won't be alone when being in the short, because Donald and Douglas will both be added in the short as well. So now I'm helping to not only help prove that Duck, Trevor, and Harold are present on Sir Topham Hatt's railway in A Pinch of 10, but now I'm also helping to prove Donald and Douglas are present on Sir Topham Hatt's railway during the story A Pinch of 10 as well. So I bet Kiefer Adams could also make a story that a Thomas and the Magic Railroad spin-off story that focuses on Donald and Douglas, and in that story, I think what if Donald and Douglas even also have strange dreams about meeting ladies? So Duck would have strange dreams about Lady and the Magic Railroad in the story that takes place before the Edward focusing story, The Lady in the Dream. So Donald and Douglas would have strange dreams about Lady and the Magic Railroad first, then Duck would have those dreams, and finally Edward is the one who has those dreams third. And in the story where Edward has strange dreams about Lady and the Magic Railroad already exists. So, but now the story where Duck has strange dreams about Lady and the Magic Railroad, and the story where Donald and Douglas have strange dreams about Lady and the Magic Railroad shall both be made by Kiefer Adams, and Diesel 10 Splatter and Dodge would appear in probably at the end of both stories that take place before the Lady in the Dream. So anyways, and I bet in the unseen scene from the ending of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, while Edward, Duck, Terrence, and Trevor arrive back home on Sodor with Sir Topham Hatt, Lady Hatt, the Vicar of Wellsworth, and Farmer Finney, Donald and Douglas return home from the works from being mended. So anyways, but I sure hope you guys are hoping for anything to do for Oliver the Great Western Engine, Bill, Ben, Stepney, and Toad the Brake Van having something to do with spin-offs for Thomas and the Magic Railroad. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, and bye.